Hello, and welcome back to the OCC race of the Ultra Trail du Mont-Blanc. You are seeing images from Lac Campbell in Switzerland, where we are following this race that started this morning in Auxerre, Switzerland, and the runners are headed to Chamonix, France. Welcome back. My name is Randy Gaylord. I'm here with Keith Byrne of the United Kingdom, and we will be presenting you with color commentary to the fabulous images provided by the race organization. We've had some technical difficulties here in the last 35 minutes or so, and so we'll come back to the race and bring you up to date with the information that we have as to who the race leaders are here in the OCC race. This is a race that 56 kilometers with 3,500 meters of vertical elevation. This morning, 1,200 runners started in Auxerre, Switzerland.
So what you're seeing on the screen, good morning, Randy, welcome back. We're just getting a replay of what we missed, which is the beautiful location up in Mont-Blanc. This is drone footage of the runners going through this area. So that was after the first cheeky climb out of the start in Auxerre before they begin the first big climb up to La Giette, up at the Bovine. So we're actually expecting the leaders of this race to be through the top of the climb quite soon. So yeah, La Giette. So in about the next 5 or so minutes. So yeah, they go. There's the lake, and somewhere on the lake there's always a sole fisherman in his little fishing boat. And
I'm looking for your fisherman there, Keith. But apparently he is not up yet.
Well,
this
maybe
is an early morning start.
Top right-hand corner, hiding from the drone right now.
All right.
But yeah, stunning. Look at that for a morning out there in the Swiss mountains of Valais. So across the border from here in Chamonix.
We are looking at a picture-perfect postcard day, is what I'd call it. It's just a postcard day and a postcard location here in Switzerland. The weather's clear. The skies are crisp. The temperature about 14 degrees at the start of the race, 14 degrees centigrade, which is like in the low 60s or so. Just perfect, what you'd call perfect running weather.
Sure. I think Mont-Blanc, you'd actually refer to it because of its size as like a hamlet. So it's kind of in terms of its size, it's part of the municipality of Auxerre, and in the canton of Valais, there's only 300 people living in Mont-Blanc. So this time of the year, has it been a key stop on the Tour de Mont-Blanc, all the people hiking as well as running, the numbers are severely increased. And here we are now back out live on the course. The Mont-Blanc referred to as Little Canada, as we are live on the English Channel, high up near the checkpoints at, kind of working out. This kind of looks like they're on the descent, actually, more than anything, Randy. If I think of the section of the course, we're just trying to work out where we are.
Well, we're about 2 hours into this race from the start in Auxerre.
Yes.
And
top 2 runners are on the way down. This is somewhere on the trail, Randy. Sorry. From the top of La Giette on the way down to Triomphe. That's kind of what it looked like. So the leader at the top of the climb continues to be Luo Tao from China. And he's got a 2-minute lead from Nicolas Martin from France. That's your top 2 runners at the top of La Giette, Randy.
If you were following this race from the beginning, you saw Luo Tao as he took off from the main field with a single pole and just set the pace. And he established a gap between him and the rest of the field immediately. And what we're seeing now is that he's been able to hold that distance. At the last checkpoint, it looks like the last checkpoint here at the top, he was about 2 minutes ahead of Nicolas Martin from France.
That's right. So we're waiting now for the third runner to come through this section of the course. And it sounds very much like Sebastian Chéniaud on the runner cam this morning.
We've had great images from the runner cam on the way uphill. It's just fabulous that they were able to stay with the runners all that distance and give us that experience of running up at the start of this race.
Yeah,
They're
so
just clicking right along. At the last checkpoint, the next runner was Eugenie Gill. Oh, here we go. That's a racer. And we're seeing them from behind. I'm sorry, we are not able to necessarily be able to provide you with their identity. We'll just do our best as we see them come by.
So just to let you know, in the top 10 in Champ-Pays-Lac, we had Cole Watson from the United States. He's ninth. And then we also had our friend from Switzerland, Roberto Di Lorenzi, who was in the studio yesterday from Team Vibram. 12th, Stian Angermund Vick from Norway. And then Wang Yibin from China. That was your top 15 down in the valley.
And to fill out the rest, we have a number of runners from Spain as well as France.
Je vais vous le dire. Et 3 minutes après, on est au col de la Forclaz.
On the right, what you're seeing is, it's saying live footage, but our information is that this is probably earlier footage that's being provided.
That is the first female runner there. On there, I recognize her. That looks like Sheila Avilés Castaño from Spain. So yeah, I think it's replay. You're dead right there. And the right-hand screen is Seb Chenot, I think, with the runner cam, and he's trying to kind of spot the leaders. But it does seem that the runners are coming from behind the camera rather than front. I'm kind of confused by that. Maybe that was just a trail runner, not a racer. Because I would assume Seb is trying to pick the runners coming to his face rather than the way around.
Yeah, I would expect that too. So we'll just stay tuned here and watch. We did see a racer as we tuned in, I believe, and it should be a strategic spot. We hear in the background a helicopter, probably trying to keep taking some footage of the races of this great location here at the Tapa Laguit. Just to give the listeners some kind of idea about what happens, it was not this nice flat lake-like road from here to the Tapa Laguit. It is a climb known as the Bovine Climb, and you will hear about it today, you'll hear about it tomorrow during the CCC race, and the next day during the UTMB, as all of the runners will, in the next races, will climb the Bovine. And it is a stickler of a climb with the problem on the Bovine is there are big rock problems that you have to encounter. Use your hands as well as your legs to climb over these small boulders and make your way up. And so, particularly in the races where they're more exhausted, it can be problematic. But front runners, they'll just hop right in this race. They'll just hop right over those boulders.
So yeah, so Champ-Pays-Lac, also an amazing place to come in the winter for ski touring. So yeah, this is a stunning location, and we'll be back there again for the CCC tomorrow morning, and again for UTMB. That's where the runners will be coming through on Saturday morning for the UTMB. So there is a ton of running between now and Sunday at 4 p.m. when we close this year's UTMB presented by Columbia.
So we're getting the information that this camera on the right is it's close to Triant. And the prediction that the fastest should arrive Triant at 10:30. That's in about 10 minutes from now. So we'll have about 10 minutes from now to watch the replay from Champay, as well as keeping an eye open for a front runner arriving in Triant.
Hey, so Cole Watson at La Giette had moved up to 6th place. So Cole is 4 minutes down on the leader. Wow.
There we go.
This is speed. So that is our leader still. So Luo Tao from China cruising, powering through here. And there you go. There you see all the hikers out as well. So they're like, oh my goodness, this guy is absolutely flying. So yeah, this is a good example of downhill running technique.
Nice job, hikers, making room for the runner. And particularly all these front runners, they need it. Look at him just striding. Oh my gosh.
And this is our single pole guy as well.
Yes. This is the fun of this race. This is the excitement of watching this race.
Wow.
If you're just tuning back in, the person we're watching here is Luo Tao from China. He started out about 2 hours and 4 minutes ago from Orsier, Switzerland, and now he's running to the last town in Switzerland, Trient.
He's cranking it up. He's kind of his speed at the moment is kind of like 10, 15 kilometers an hour. So he's absolutely cranking it up there. And yeah, so he's already covered 20.4 kilometers of the race. So yeah, so he's kind of really motoring this morning. So yeah, this is we're looking at 5 hours 28. That was the winning time last year. So it's going to be interesting to see, and that was also one of his compatriots. So Erin Gia. So Gia's not here apparently. So, but this could be another race. A lot of strong Chinese runners in this race, and a lot of fast Chinese runners in this race. But however, let's see if Nicolas Martin has something to say about that from France. So yeah, so through La Giette we had, there's a tremendous amount of runners in the top 15 are 8 minutes apart.
8 minutes between the first and the 15th.
Exactly.
Wow.
So
a lot of people that are training at this speed, that's
yes.
for sure.
So Stian Angermund Vik from Norway has moved up to 4th place. We talked about Cole Watson already in 6th. We've talked about our friend Roberto Di Lorenzi from Switzerland. He's 11th, but in that pack. So yeah, there's also a lot of French and Spanish runners in there as well, being talked about currently on the French and the Spanish TV channels.
All right, well, I'm glad I'm not doing that hike right now because there's going to be 15 runners in the next 10 minutes. I think I'm just going to have to park myself to...
Kind of like 1,200 runners is going to be coming their way, so yeah. So here we are now. This is kind of this looks like where they pop out at the Col... I don't know if it's at the Col de la Forclaz, because there's a big crowd there before they get down to Trient. So this is kind of that's kind of my guess, but we'll soon see in a minute as they kind of head around this corner. Yeah, there's the road there coming up from Martigny on the right-hand side. That was where the MCC was starting on Monday. So here we go, coming into the top of the Col de la Forclaz. This is normally a great spot to catch the runners of the OCC, the CCC, the UTMB. He's going to kind of then traverse a little bit, and then it's like a straight down into Trient to the Pink Church. And look at this. Great crowds out there this morning. This is well done, guys. Oh. It's a good spot to kind of catch the runners.
Yeah, there's good.
Wow.
Good access.
Keep going. Left, left, left.
Up. I guess they route them a little differently this day. Into the parking lot.
Yeah, this is kind of like straight. This is fast. This is perfect for this runner.
Keith remembers them going around behind that building in the past in the UTMB, and so here he comes.
There's our visual from another angle of the leader coming through here at the Col de la Forclaz.
I agree. That's exactly where he is.
Yep. There's a camera guy just kind of following behind him. Doing some. So we've got two camera angles on our leader here right now.
The Col de Forclaz is
just that little shoulder there before they drop down into Trient. So beautiful little spot, not so far away from the border with France, and yeah, the iconic pink church that they have in Trient. And there's about...
There you go. You can see Trient now on the right-hand side of the screen. There it goes. Thank you for moving the camera. There we are.
That's
down the valley.
That's your main road that takes you between, I guess, Martigny and down to the border with between France and Switzerland.
We also got a great image a moment ago of showing the cameraman running along behind him.
This is Sebastian Chéniaud. So Seb Chéniaud, former third-place finisher at UTMB. So Seb now is sprinting along with the camera. And there's the new section that's been built on that trail. And then there's actually now a permanent bridge that's been built across the road. So the runners no longer have to cross the road. And there you go. There is the town of Trient down in the valley. And it's just to the right. Keep going, cameraman, and we'll see the wonderful pink church.
This is the town of Trient loves the UTMB, and they show up for it. They'll be there for the next 3 nights. They entertain the visitors who come there. They have a big aid station. It's a great place to be.
Yeah, it's Trient, kind of another hamlet, if you like. It's in the municipality now of Martigny. It's still in the canton of Valais, and about 174 people living there, and at least 100 of those are volunteers for the race. We're at 1,300 meters down in the valley, so this is a bit, those guys kind of really take the UTMB seriously. So this is a new section that's been built here, and then this is before they drop down, I think, in towards Trient.
Family members and visitors are welcome to come to Trient and enjoy the festivities that happen there. There'll be music. There'll be food. There'll be all kinds of things that happen as the runners come down there for the next 2 days. So don't forget about Trient.
So I already got a couple of messages from people. So just kind of like, oh yeah, love the reference to the pink church. So one of the guys, I had the pleasure of cycling the whole of the loop around the Mont-Blanc on the road bike a couple of weeks ago. So Julian Lings, kind of saying, oh yeah, remember the pink church? That was the beginning of, before we dropped down to Martigny, of the Stinger climb all the way up to the Grand Saint-Bernard. Here we go. Here's our next runner coming through, but that was not fast enough for me, so I was wondering if that was a runner just out on the trail.
I think it was.
Yes, we're looking for the second runner. We're looking for Nicolas Martin. We're trying to get a time gap.
I wasn't catching the time right then. Darn it.
So,
je pensais que c'était un coureur, non, c'était je dirais un randonneur actif. Mais là, je vois quand même un peu de distance et il n'y a personne.
So I think Sebastian's kind of just talking back to the team here.
Ça y est, je vois.
Just saying what we're seeing in terms of significance distance now between first and second.
Le NG2 pour la régie, on a posé le drone et on vient de basculer sur la vidéo au sol. Est-ce que vous confirmez que vous recevez nos images?
And there we have it, the iconic sound of Switzerland. It's almost a soundtrack, and definitely here comes our next runner. There's some serious speed going on here.
We're expecting this to be Nicolas Martin.
It is Nico, yep.
1003. Ah, there he goes.
Wow, I think that gap's gone out. So, yeah, that gap has definitely gone out. So,
il est fort en descente, mais pas.
It was about 2 minutes at the top of La Guite.
Yeah, so Luatao from Team Adidas Terex, and now we have Nicolas Martin going through there. He's kind of obviously from Team Hoka One. So he's from Cornillon-en-Trièvre in France. So yeah, we're just kind of looking to see. He was 7th last year at the OCC, so he's definitely improving on that right now. Fantastic effort so far by Nico, chasing down our leader. So Luo Tao from China, followed by Nicolas Martin on their way down to Trient.
All right, and the first 10 runners are all through La Guite at the top of the Bovine Pass, and they are all headed down to this location. Near our camera here on the trail to Trient.
Yep.
And they'll be coming by in just very fast sequence. The next runner is expected to be just a minute behind.
Amazingly, Trient is just short of halfway. There are 2 more big climbs to happen here, so we're not expecting a 4.5 hour OCC time, but 5.5 hours is our predicted finishing time. But 56k the full race, 26 kilometers down in Trient. This is good, kind of great for you watching at home, kind of looking at good solid technique. These steps are tough to run.
Great footwork. If you ever wonder how you make it down fast through a trail like this, just watch his footwork and the choices of locations where he wants to plant his foot for a nice flat landing and a good send-off to the next step.
So we're also keeping an eye on the front of the women's race, which is going to be hotly contested. I think we have no doubt there.
Okay,
so
here we are down in Triant.
There's the bridge underneath the main road.
And when you're in those grassy slopes, you know you are headed down to Triant. It can be a slippery place on a wet day, but here,
there we go. That
coming
is
into the aid station.
Our leader coming into Triant now. The first three ladies have just come over the top of La Giette, first three women. So Ruth Croft running alongside Sheila Castaño from Spain. And then 2 minutes down, we have Atzara de los Salmones. So that's your top three. Next, babe.
All right.
Here we go. Nice warm welcome here in Triant. Wow. Fast, fast, fast.
We haven't seen Luo Tao eat. We haven't seen him drink. And here's the pink church that you're speaking of. And now to the tent where there will be a warm welcome all the way in. Well done. And well done for this part of the race. Driven. Look at those eyes. Just focused.
Yeah, already through past the church. So I think the way they structure this aid station now, it's in one side and then throwing you out the other.
You can tell that's self-sufficiency. The runner refills himself. Okay.
We saw yesterday how important hydration is. It's super warm, very humid yesterday. So I think the runners, even though they're going fast, I think it's all about staying hydrated as well.
Looks like his food choices there were not the food of the race organization, but rather he was pulling food out of his pack, choosing his own foods that he's comfortable with, which is not uncommon in these kind of races, particularly when people are traveling here from a long distance like the Chinese would be. There's a combination of sugars and other electrolytes and so on that has to be taken and practiced and done in order to succeed at avoiding any stomach distress and running fast.
Sure. Don't forget, last year we were talking to Dr. Lee about China trail running culture, and he was kind of telling us how the food that the Chinese runners see in the aid station here in Europe is not what they would normally be expecting to see, rice and soup and that kind of thing. So they are also adapting to let's say the cultural diversity of trail running around the world, but he's gelled up and he's out and about. And
he's carrying a little drink with him.
I think so. This is all good. Very clever.
Just plain water over the head. We now see his water bottles more prominently placed. He's going to use those. He may have gone out pretty light, quite frankly, for the start, but he can't stay light for 4 hours. So.
No,
got to take on water.
Yes, this next climb up to the border between Switzerland and France, I love this climb. It's kind of an aggressive climb, but you can really kind of, if you're feeling good, you can push on that one. And then there's an epic long descent all the way down to Vallorcine.
All right, we see on the right side of the screen, we're getting some updates of what the order is of the runners. So thank you for putting that up. When we're doing the full screen here, this looks great. We see the women's race, Ruth Croft, Sheila Aveles Castanaro. And in the men's race, Luo Tao, Nicholas Martin, and Andrew Simon Ayamach. Okay, I'm doing my best here. Okay.
I'll help. Don't worry, Randy. It's a team here. We'll kind of teamwork. We'll help each other out here.
Yes.
And
Keith, I really appreciate thanking and wish to thank you for helping out. And our listeners may wonder why I'm using the last name of Luo Tao first, and that is the proper Chinese pronunciation. So,
well, I think they just refer to the family name first, and then the first name second, if you like. So, yeah, as we follow Nicolas Martin here, we're going to get a time check. I think the gap is definitely, looks like it's gone out slightly, but there are two more big climbs for these runners. The first one up to Les Seps, and then the second one the cheeky climb from Argentier in France up to La Flégère, and then full speed to Chamonix. Big crowds here in Chamonix today. Sunshine galore. It's a, let's say it's a trail runner's dream.
Allez, Nico!
All right, this is a fast way to refill. I expect to see him just run through the aid station. We'll see. Or is this past the aid station?
I think that's the water drop, and then he's going to hit the aid station, and he's second now. And then we'll be able to give you the time check. There we go. We've got a time check. It's of, and right behind Nico, we don't see him in the camera, but we've also got Andreu Simon Aymeric from Spain. So your top three, there's a 5-minute gap. So Nicolas and Andreu are together. There's Ruth Croft.
All right. The first of the winners, the women race leaders are right here running together. That's just all we can say. It looks like Ruth and Sheila. I thought Sheila had the white top.
Yeah, then I don't think that's a female athlete behind Ruth. So, yeah, we've had 6 runners through the top of the climb for the women's race, and I can see that Emily Schmitz from the United States is through in 6th place. She is 10 minutes behind. She's running alongside Yuri Yoshizumi from Japan. And then we've got the 3 Spanish ladies, Ana Comet, Azara Garcia de los Zamones, Sheila Aviles Castaño, and then we've got Ruth Croft. So Ruth is there or thereabouts. She's about 20 seconds ahead of the chasing Spanish athlete. So yeah, so this is Ruth Croft on her way down to the Col de la Forclaz. So we've got our camera crew, as we did yesterday. We are covering both the front of the men's and the women's races. We're doing that all week now, across, right the way through to Sunday.
All right, I was checking on the resume of Emily Schmidt, and she was here this year at the Marathon du Mont-Blanc and finished 16th in the women category there. She's done a number of races in Europe. Including sky races and so on. So, yep, she's on it.
Yeah, and then Aymeric, who's kind of come into the frame now in the top 3. So Aymeric won this year's the new event that they had at the Lavaredo Ultra Trail in the Dolomites, the 87K race. So and more recently has won the Epic Trail race sponsored by Buff. Team Buff is Buff Pro Team is Andreu's kind of team he's racing for here. So already got some really strong results in 2019 in the 60 to 80k category. This aid station has changed so much over the years in Trion now. It's much bigger, and it's a in and out. And this is a lot of runners coming through here now. These guys are fast.
Yeah, it's just one after another. You can't let up.
No, and there's
not for a minute.
No. Crofty arriving at La Forclaz, Col de la Forclaz.
Through the parking lot. Oh, look at that. Yes. Kids get into this. They love it. Great event. We saw a number of these kids racing yesterday in the mini race, in the youth race. So in no time, they'll be racing in the OCC.
So we've had the top 10 men have now completed, gone in through the checkpoint at Trion. They are separated by 9 minutes. So Cole Watson is in there. He is 8 minutes down. He's in 8th place. So Cole Watson from the United States, alongside a lot of Spanish and French runners, and one leader. So Luo Tao from China still out in front. He's got a 5-minute lead as they go on to the second big climb of the OCC up to Les Ceps. where just after that they're going to hit the border, and then it's full speed downhill to. There'll be a big crowd down there by the railway station in Vallacine as they kind of arrive on the French side of the OCC course.
Yeah, this is a remarkable statistic right here. There are 9 runners that are 4 minutes and 25 seconds apart, right up here at the front of the pack.
Here we go, and there's Crofty's view of where she's going to drop down to now into Trion.
Super competitive race. Super competitive.
So Martina Kantor from Poland. Martina has now reached the top of the climb at La Giette. So that's our top 7 runners in the women's race. So yeah, it's a good mixture. So New Zealand, Spain, Japan, US, Poland, and maybe there's a couple more Kiwi runners there in the top 15 of the women's race. So we'll be keeping an eye on Nancy Jiang and also Caitlin Fielder. But yeah, I mean, this is a very different kind of race to yesterday for lots and lots of reasons. The speed today is the big one that we're noticing the difference of. And also it's a much shorter course. So yesterday was epic. 4 a.m. start for the guys. The winners coming in just after 10 p.m. And we will have a lot of runners on the TDS course not completing that course until 10 p.m. today. That's 42 hours out on the trail. So there's some serious trail running going on out there right now. We also have the PTL. The PTL runners, they've been out on the course since Monday morning. In fact, we hear quite incredibly that the winners of the PTL are probably going to arrive later today. So we would normally see those in the past arriving on Saturday or Sunday. So yep, these guys are even getting faster on the 300 kilometer and 26,000 meters of climbing course.
And yesterday in the TDS, we had a woman's finisher, second place. Hillary Allen from the United States finished at just before 2 a.m., almost 2 hours out on the course. She was second to Audrey Tanguy from France, who finished at 1:37 a.m. at 21 hours and 36 minutes. And then after Hillary came in Katrin Goetz from
Catching from Switzerland.
From Switzerland,
yes.
She finished at about 3:45 a.m., so just before 24 hours.
But what an incredible women's race we had yesterday. We also had a fantastic men's race. So the TDS now is almost as brutal as the UTMB. So the guys are running 18 hours for a course that's only got 900 meters less elevation than UTMB. UTMB this year, the big question amongst many others is, will we have a first American male to win, but also will the winner go under 20 hours?
All right. Ruth Croft is in our eyes right here. She's approaching on the way down to Triant in Switzerland. She started this morning 2 hours and 27 minutes ago in Orcier, Switzerland. She's in the OCC race of the festival of races known as the Ultra Trail du Mont-Blanc, presented by Columbia.
So, for all of those who love your kind of trail running gadgets, one of the partners of the UTMB, Garmin, they will be they're going to be launching a new product this morning at midday, and we're going to be live at the unveiling of the new watch. So yeah, that's just over, let's say, an hour and 15 minutes away. So you can stay tuned for some new gadgets that you probably need to buy.
Yeah, and there's an entire salon happening here that's part of the UTMB. Runners come to get gear, see what the latest products are in terms of food, clothing, packs, gear, and there's a outdoor salon that has a big bazaar of places, and also the next running race. There are a lot of running races that are telling you about their race and inviting people to join them in all around the world. So it's just, this is a world-class event. may not be the marathon, it may not be the Olympics, but there is no Olympics of trail running at this point in time. But if there were one, this would be it. There are so many different countries represented.
So we've got our camera teams here. This is just above Trion now. The runners have crossed the bridge above the main road, and now they're kind of doing the last few switchbacks down into the town. So this is one of our runner cams. We've got cameras on runners, we've got cameras on e-bikes, we've got the drones, we've got some fixed cameras in the aid stations, and we'll also be having the helicopter, I'm sure, at some point. So this is one of the US athletes, I believe, here that we have on camera right now.
Cole Watson, perhaps?
Probably. But no, Cole's already gone through the checkpoint to Trion, so this is probably somebody else. So one of the Hoka One athletes. So I guess we're down here now. We're waiting for Crofty to arrive into Trion. It should be any second now, and she's been chased down. So it's going to be interesting to see the gap since the very top of the climb at La Giette as now down into to Trion. So yeah, so let's see if who has the technical expertise on the downhill to make any time gaps.
Clément, c'est bien reçu, la deuxième arrive, je l'ai à l'image.
All right, here is Sheila coming into the aid station. She's very close to Ruth Croft.
So yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see the gap at the top. It was 22 seconds at the top, so it's next to nothing in this this race with this speed. So we will get the time point now, unless of course Sheila is now advanced into the lead. But we'll soon know. So,
yeah, those of you who run and know and run trails know that there's all kinds of little breaks that could just take up 20 seconds or so over 2 hours. It's just phenomenal that they can stay together that close.
So Crofty's in. Sorry, Randy. Crofty's already gone through the Trion checkpoint, so we're actually following the second place runner right now. Sorry, Randy.
Yes, perfect. Thanks for that, Keith. And we're just checking the gap. She'll be through the checkpoint, so we'll know what that is in just a moment. Yeah, look at these folks. They get the first row seat right there with the runners moving full speed in front of them just before they hit this climb. Oh, this climb is hard. Everyone's had a tough climb getting up these steps. After a big downhill, to go back up again is hard. Oh, there she is, Ruth Croft, on her way out. Quick stop, has a little water in her hand. Now she's putting it away. And so she's one aid station stop ahead of Sheila.
So the time gap has gone out slightly. It's now about 1 minute 40 seconds. There you go. So some Kiwi supporters out there cheering on Crofty.
Oh yeah. You have no question what country she's from on that sign. So great to have this international field. We're following a Spanish runner here, Sheila.
22 pour Régis, je suis avec la deuxième fille au ravitaillement. Je la laisse partir, j'attends la troisième.
As she takes one swig of water and boom, she's out. She's not going to let the person behind get any closer, and she's going to do her best to advance. Now there's this runner with what looks like a headrest from a plane trip or something. Who's sold at the airports. I'm not sure what that's about. Haven't seen that before.
Oh, I missed that, Randy. Sorry.
There's a runner right next to Sheila. If the camera might show him with a purple, like a headrest.
Know that?
There, you see it.
Oh, how bizarre.
Has a sore neck or something.
Maybe carrying extra water.
Maybe.
I don't know. That's. It's always good to find something that's slightly different because everyone is obviously tried and tested methods now with bits of kit. So especially for the short and fast race here, it's super minimalist.
All right, in and out of this aid station. It looks like there's plenty of help for any problem here at this aid station. Very few people are taking advantage of it. All they need to do is just pass through, get some water, get some food, and keep moving. See, Vibram and Compress Sport have a table over here. Oh, they're coming in one right after another now. Runners of all ages.
Wow, well, I tell you what now, the women's race is definitely down, seemingly down to 2 already after the first up and down. Excuse me.
So the race is underway now for 2 hours, 36 minutes. 2 hours, 37 minutes.
This is our third runner coming into the A station, so I think this is Atzara.
Atzara, also from Spain.
So Atzara's already been racing around here this year, the Marathon du Mont-Blanc. So she was 7th in the women's race, so doing really well here. She's already won a few races this year as well. So Penigalosa and at the Reventon Trail El Paso Marathon. So she's got form, I think we would say, for sure. So there you go. That's our top 3 women into Trion this morning. And I was going to give you the time gap. So Ruth Croft is just under 2 minutes ahead of Sheila Castagno. And then we have Atzara. She is 2 minutes down on Sheila. So there are 4 minutes separating our top 3 female athletes. And we will be following the front of the women's race as we will be the men's. So here we go. Across the river, and it's time to start doing some more climbing.
So far 58 runners have come into Triant. So Azara is in 58th place in the scratch category, and they're just piling in one right after another right now very rapidly, and they will be continuing to do so until 2:30 this afternoon at the time, which is the time barrier. So it's now almost 11 o'clock, 10:55 here in Chamonix, France.
We are going uphill right now. I think just for those viewers at home that don't know this is uphill running. So this is not on the flat. it does get steeper, but this is it's a good way to kind of warm up into this next climb. Climb number 2 at the OCC.
And you can see her compared to the man in blue. He looks like he is actually running uphill, and she just looks like she's running on the flats. Big arm movements, big leg movements, very erect posture. Just seems to be unaffected by the hill.
No, and it's a lot of runners out cheering, a lot of crowds out cheering this morning, and maybe some of those are runners that are racing over the next few days. So just getting out from the madness of Chamonix and the energy that's going on right now here for the whole of this UTMB week presented by Columbia.
Yeah, you can get to these different towns and along the way, and Triant is an easy one to get to either by, I think you can take a train there from Chamonix.
No.
No train?
No. The train stops at Vallorcine. Yeah.
Okay, so from the next major aid station, people can take trains. There is a bus system that the race organization has created for volunteers as well, and those who want to follow the race. So there is a great bus system to avoid the need to have lots and lots of vehicles on the road.
Yeah, so you've got the train on the train is on the Martigny down in the valley, and that's as the runners of the MCC discovered on Monday, the climb from Martigny up to the Col de la Forclaz is a killer. So some of our colleagues here at the UTMB TV, UTMB Live, they got to do that on Monday because that is the race that's been created for the locals and also for a lot of the race volunteers. So they get to do something at the beginning of the week in terms of running before it's work, and a little bit of fun.
Oh, come on, Keith. This is lots of fun.
It is indeed.
We love it.
So now is a bit busy on the trail here. We've got hikers. We've got,
thank you to all the hikers for yielding to the runners.
And so we can see Atzada now. He's kind of moving really, really well. And she's just having a quick look. That's like a cheat sheet, probably telling her the distance, roughly how much time. So she's probably going to use that to help her regulate her effort. But yes, she is moving really well here.
Yeah, there are a lot of ways to make those cheat sheets. Some people make them up, have them laminated, take them with them so that they don't fall apart in the sweat and the wetness. And at the salon here, you can get one with a temporary tattoo on your forearm or something, just so you can glance down at it.
That is very right, Randy. You can get your race tattoo, temporary tattoo. Although I have seen a few people that have got UTMB permanent tattoos, not the race course, but just the logo of the UTMB. So that's the depth of passion that there is for both the UTMB and also for trail running in general.
And do they do the like we see in here on the screen, the runner with the little sweat coming off him?
I have seen that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And I was like, ooh, that looks painful.
All right, that's commitment. All right. We're back in Triant, and now you see the benefit of having this aid station with a water trough, multiple taps. Minimizes the amount of downtime for any one of these runners.
So we're looking out now for the rest of the top 10 in the women's field to come in here to Triant.
Like some older runners and a really young runner as well. So, and his number one fan looks like there might be his mom.
Yeah. Hydration is the key this weekend. So there's always UTMB weather, and this year it's going to be warm and sunny in the main.
Yes, for all the runners who have yet to start, don't think that you're going to go faster by going lighter. Keep the water packed on.
We're also going to be able to give you a time check pretty soon of the leaders, the men, at the next checkpoint, or just a time checkpoint. There's nothing else up there at Les Tiepes, just before the border between Switzerland and France. So, yep. Luo Tao from China is setting a hot pace at the front. Had a 5-minute lead on a lot of runners chasing him down. So we're going to keep an eye on that one and give you an update as soon as we get it.
So this is a nice climb. It looks very rocky and rooty, but in truth, when you're running this kind of segment, there's always a clear step to put your foot. As long as you keep pulling up your legs high, you're not going to trip.
No, Zara is moving super fast. Here we go. This is going to be our 4th female athlete into
number 54.
So it's Ana Comet from Spain. So bit of a gap, as we expected, really. The top 3 female athletes are incredibly strong. So Anna from Spain is 9 minutes behind Atzara, who we just saw on the climb. So Anna is from Team Dinafit.
No stop, just straight on through.
So yeah, so Anna Team Dinafit, the Elements. So she's from La Guixa in Spain.
All right.
And I'm sure I did not pronounce that correctly.
That's all right. La Guixa.
So here we go, 9 minutes further up the road from Anna, we have Atzara Garcia de los Salmones from Spain, and she's chasing down her compatriot Sheila Aviles Castano from Spain, and then Ruth Croft from New Zealand.
Yeah, quite a contingent here at the front of the race from Spain this year. In the women's race, no question about it.
Well, and last night we saw Pablo Villa Gonzalez winning the TDS in really, really strong style. So already the first marker down for Spain, and then we saw Audrey Tanguy from France winning the women's race. Another fantastic battle with Hilary Allen from the United States. And here's the next female athlete through from China. So well done to, or was that might well be Japan, actually. We'll just do a quick update for you now. I think that might be our Japanese runner. Yeah, that's our Japanese runner. So that's Yuri Yoshizumi. So she is 1 minute behind Anna. That's our top 5. So yeah, so Yuri is from Osaka in Japan.
Yoshizumi.
Yes, exactly. So Yuri is, and she's definitely been doing some big races. She won the 45k Transvolcania race this year. So she's already been out there. She already also did the Transvolcania marathon the year before. So Yuri has been out and about using her running to explore the planet. She was actually the 4th lady at UTMB last year, so she's got a little bit of work to do. She wants to improve on that in 2019.
We'll keep our eyes peeled for the next woman. We hope to arrive in Trient, which we think will be an American, Emily Schmitz. So we'll just keep looking. We have a little short break here of the action as our runner cam goes back to the tent center of town.
So yeah, so this is kind of going reverse on the course back into the checkpoint at Trient.
All right. This is the UTMB Mont-Blanc presented by Columbia, and you are following the OCC race. It started 2 hours and 48 minutes. This is Randy Gaylord. I'm here with Keith Byrne. We're going to take a short break. Thank you.
The Chamonix-Mont-Blanc Valley mirrors the nature that surrounds it. Mythical, authentic. Drawn towards the sky by its pinnacles and legendary peaks, Chamonix is the natural birthplace of incredible adventures. From the beginning, it is here that the pioneers embarked to conquer the summits. It is here that mountain history is written. Whether you are looking to challenge yourself or rejuvenate your soul, the Chamonix-Mont-Blanc Valley reinvents itself every day, inviting you to live your very own adventure. Open the way.
Au sommet de la performance, avec la montre GPS Fenix 5 Plus, par Garmin.
I breathe, I dream. Can you feel me? No? So ride, dance, jump, taste, find your pace, reach your peak. Can you feel me now? I am the Alps. I am the Mont Blanc. I am Italy. I am Courmayeur. Italy at its peak.
Nous avons tous une bonne raison de nous dépasser. Notre motivation peut être évidente, ou pas. Nous avons chacun notre rythme, et chacun notre style. Nous connaissons le prix de l'effort. La performance n'est pas une fin en soi, c'est notre moteur. Et nous ne comptons pas en rester là. Soyons inarrêtables. Iron.fr, le meilleur du running livré gratuitement en 24 heures.
Feeling we're right where we should be, where nothing else can reach you. Being part of our own little world. Letting yourself go. And this is our first second. What's yours?
if you can shift your goals away from not worrying about PRs or what the watch says, the mountains are a playground. And you just ask, where can my legs take me today?